In chemistry, a salt is an ionic compound that results from the neutralization reaction of an acid and a base. Salts are composed of related numbers of cations and anions so that the product is electrically neutral. These component ions can be inorganic, such as chloride, or organic, such as acetate CH3CO-2, and can be monatomic, such as fluoride, or polyatomic, such as sulfate SO2-. 4. There are several varieties of salts. Salts that hydrolyze to produce hydroxide ions when dissolved in water are basic salts, whilst those that hydrolyze to produce hydronium ions in water are acidic salts. Neutral salts are those that are neither acid nor basic salts. Zwitterions contain an anionic center and a cationic center in the same molecule, but are not considered to be salts. Examples of zwitterions include amino acids, many metabolites, peptides, and proteins. Usually, non-dissolved salts at standard temperature and pressure are solid, but there are exceptions. Molten salts and solutions containing dissolved salts are called electrolytes, as they are able to conduct electricity, as observed in the cytoplasm of cells, in blood, urine, plant saps and mineral waters. Mixtures of many different ions in solution usually do not form defined salts after evaporation of the water. Therefore, the salt content is given for the respective ions. Properties. Color salts can appear to be clear and transparent, opaque, and even metallic and lustrous. In many cases, the apparent opacity or transparency are only related to the difference in size of the individual monocrystals. Since light reflects from the grain boundaries, larger crystals tend to be transparent, while the polycrystalline aggregates look like white powders. Salts exist in many different colors, for example, yellow, orange, red, mauve, blue, purple, green. Colorless may appear white when powdered or in small pieces. Most minerals and inorganic pigments, as well as many synthetic organic dyes, are salts. The color of the specific salt is due to the electronic structure in the d orbitals of transition elements or in the conjugated organic dye framework. Taste. Different salts can elicit all 5 basic tastes, e.g., salty, sweet, sour, bitter, and umami as savory. Odor. Salts of strong acids and strong bases are non-volatile and odorless, whereas salts of either weak acids or weak bases may smell after the conjugate acid and cyanides like hydrogen cyanide, or the conjugate base, of the component ions. The slow partial decomposition is usually accelerated by the presence of water, since hydrolysis is the other half of the reversible reaction equation of formation of weak salts. Solubility. Many ionic compounds can be dissolved in water or other similar solvents. The exact combination of ions involved makes each compound have a unique solubility in any solvent. The solubility is dependent on how well each ion interacts with the solvent, so there are certain patterns. For example, all salts of sodium, potassium and ammonium are soluble in water, as are all nitrates and many sulfates. Barium sulfate, calcium sulfate and lead sulfate are examples of exceptions. However, ions that bind tightly to each other and form highly stable lattices are less soluble, because it is harder for these structures to break apart for the compounds to dissolve. For example, most carbonate salts are not soluble in water, such as lead carbonate and barium carbonate. Some soluble carbonate salts are sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate and ammonium carbonate. Conductivity. Solid salts do not conduct electricity. However, liquid salts do. Moreover, solutions of salts also conduct electricity. Chemical compound. The name of a salt starts with the name of the cation followed by the name of the anion. Salts are often referred to only by the name of the cation or by the name of the anion. Common salt-forming cations include ammonium NH+, 4, calcium California 2+, iron Fe2+, and Fe3+, magnesium Mg2+, potassium K+, pyridinium C5H, 5NH+, quaternary ammonium Na+4 R being an alkyl group or an aryl group, sodium Na+. Common salt-forming anions include acetate CH3COO-, carbonate CO2-3, chloride Cl-, citrate HOC CH2COO-2, cyanide Cn-, fluoride F-, nitrate NO-3, nitrite NO-2, oxide O2-, phosphate PO3-4, sulfate SO2-4.